Shemai, today we're going to have a look at the Guelder Rose, or Viburnum opulus, or in Welsh, Gwyfornoeth gorse, and it's this little shrub here. It's a spreading upright kind of shrub that is deciduous. It will lose its leaves now in the winter, and it can grow to about 4 meters high. Now this one here is around about 2 meters high. It's a good sign, they say, of an ancient woodland. So if you come across one of these in a woodland area, then it's a good sign that that woodland is very, very old. And it's often found along riversides and old hedgerows. Now I've had to come into a neighbour's garden because this is a really nice example of one. Now the Guelder Rose, the name Guelder, is said to come from the Dutch province of Gelderland, but it also goes by lots and lots of other names. It goes by the name cramp bark and dogberry, water elder and the snowball tree. The bark of the Guelder Rose is a dappled greyish brown and quite smooth, and quite often they're multi-stemmed. As you can see here, there's lots of little stems coming up. But the bark is a really important part of this plant, hence its other name, cramp bark, because it contains a substance called scopolamine, which relieves muscle cramps. It's used as well as a remedy for things that are caused by tension rather than inflammation, things such as migraines and tension headaches. The leaves of the Guelder Rose are 3-lobed, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, and they're about 5 to 10 centimeters long. They're kind of rounded with this bit of a, if you can see it there, a bit of a serrated margin. So the edge of it is a bit jaggedy. But they are beautiful in the autumn. They turn from this greenish colour here to these wonderful sort of reds. Just see if we can pull those across. These sort of reds and oranges in the autumn. And one of the good ways of telling them is that on the top, as you can see, they're kind of greenish. These are starting to turn now, but on the underside, they're quite soft and a little bit hairy. Guelder Rose flower usually between sort of May and July, and they're clusters of creamy white flat-topped flowers, and that's another one of the reasons that it's called the water elder, because it likes these damp areas, and the flowers look a lot like elder flowers. Now the flowers grow in these clusters, and it's a shame I haven't got a photo to show, because the clusters are surrounded by a ring of larger but sterile flowers, so that they do nothing for the bees and the pollinating insects, but inside then are these smaller, so you've got this ring of larger flowers, and inside then are these little smaller white flowers, and quite often you'll see hoverflies enjoying them. They really like these little clusters of white flowers. But it's these flowers that then turn into these absolutely stunning red berries. They're round and bright and shiny and translucent. I'm not sure you can see it there, but you can just see into the inside of it. And the berries are said to make a delicious jelly, but they say that when they're straight off the plant like this, they're mildly toxic or poisonous, so it wouldn't be good to eat it straight off the shrub like this. The birds, for example, things like bullfinches and missel thrushes, really enjoy them. It's a really important food source for them in the autumn. And when these are dry, they turn to like a black colour and have actually been used in the past for ink, for making inks. Considering the Guelder Rose is a native and is a sign of ancient woodland and things, there's actually not that much lore and mythology surrounding it. And in fact, what I can find is something that originates in Scandinavian mythology, where it's, again, as it is in this country, known as the water elder. And the water spirit Nyx was said to wait underneath the Guelder Rose, underneath the water elder, and play enthralling music that would entice people to come and listen. And if somebody stopped to listen, they would be grabbed and pulled underneath the tree, underneath the water, unless they had a sprig of the plant with them in their pocket. The Guelder Rose is one of those plants that you will see in hedgerows and just not notice. The name is quite deceiving. It's not a rose, it's not sharp, it's not spiky, but it is quite common. And like I say, it's one of those things that you will have seen when you're out and about. It'll be in hedgerows, it might be on the edges of these woodlands. So now I've given you a few little pointers of how to find it, and this is a great time of year to find it now. We're into November. These red berries are really on display. You can just see them over there. Look for those 3-lobed leaves and go out and see if you can find it, and good luck.